I used to work for JD Sports. I was a manager in the ball ring, one of the floor managers in there. And it was just kind of like a bit of a fate thing, actually. Someone that I used to work for came into the job one day, and I was just like, I was in a situation where I was kind of like, this just isn't really for me. I like to work with people. Customer service obviously is working with people, but obviously there's a little bit more to it. You know, it's filling your stock and looking at figures and getting in the office, sending out emails, stuff like that. But whereas I wanted to work in a face-to-face role where you can feel you can actually make a little bit of a difference. That's when I got into the adult sector, and that was working with the unemployed who've been about a year out of employment that are claiming JSA. And I worked with them for about 12 months until the government cancelled the contract, and well, it was very close to everyone getting made redundant or having to be tupered into another area. But I kind of moved out of that as soon as I heard. It was like, you know, you panic, you think your job's at stake. So I went to an admin role for a little bit. Again, admin isn't my thing. I'm an extrovert. I like to, you know, inspire people. And then I found Juniper, and I've been here ever since, and hopefully we'll have a pretty long career in it because I do really enjoy my job.
I actually started out as a learner here when I was 17. I came to Juniper after leaving school, so I left with no GCSEs, quite low on confidence, wasn't really doing a lot. And yeah, I came along, I spoke to the Starts and Progressions officer at the time. He told me what I could get out of the course, what qualifications, and you know, helped me gain some more confidence basically. So I started the course, I completed my 16 weeks. And after the 16 weeks had finished, I moved onto an apprenticeship in West Brom, doing youth work with 16 to 18-year-olds on a similar programme. After that apprenticeship ended, I got taken on as a full-time staff member. Worked for another year at this other company, and it was actually Paul, one of my colleagues here now. He texted me to say that there was a vacancy at Juniper. And I applied for the vacancy, came down on the open day down to Wednesbury, had an interview with the director, Leslie, and in a few weeks later, I was told that I was successful and I've got the job. So now I try and portray that to our learners who come through the door and say, you know, I've been on the journey, this is what you could get out of it, basically.
They started off as carvers in Wolverhampton, a little company with big intentions to provide training and support to youngsters out there with lots of other programmes around, and they just expanded in the Black Country, started having like curriculum, lessons, and it just grew from there. In Wednesbury, Wednesbury was a little town that I heard of in the past till I came to work here, and it's like it's busy, but it's not, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of community, there's a lot of things, and the support is definitely needed here. This used to be the old job centre, this building, and so we took over, and people still come asking about it, and the support definitely is needed here for 16 to 18-year-olds.
Juniper is about working with 16 to 18-year-olds. We do take on up to 24 with learning difficulties if they say they're statemented. So we do work with them alongside with their barriers. Like sometimes we've had people that have got autism, and it's about just basically getting them involved and introducing them into people their own age. It's what Juniper's about is basically getting them ready for employability. So getting them employment skills and teaching them how to interact with managers and supervisors and showing respect. And sometimes it can be as simple as breaking barriers, such as sometimes their spelling might need a little bit of work, or running capitals through constant pieces of work. IT skills, it can be like quite a few things because we deliver maths, English and ICT skills as well. We do functional skills. And we do a lot of, it is very varied. We do some community work as well. So we do actually go out with the learners every 17 weeks and we go and do a project in the community. The one that we recently did was all the learners got dressed up and we went around Birmingham City Centre and raised money for Birmingham Children's Hospital. We raised about £200 in the end, and they came back. We all went out, went and got loads of presents, wrapped them all up and sent them to Birmingham Children's Hospital. So that was really nice, and they are really willing to help in their community. I think we have to kind of make it a little bit more realistic for learners when it comes to employment skills. It's hard to get apprenticeships, and constantly looking for apprenticeships in Wednesbury. They are very, very few and far between. Obviously, you know, they're more Birmingham based, and you're trying to get learners to be willing to travel to Birmingham. Sometimes, you know, they've been brought up around here, so they want something fairly local. So it's getting them ready as well to try and get out there and be willing to travel to get to a new area. But I mean, you just have to look around Wednesbury. Like there are a vast amount of shops that have shut down, and just little market shops that have opened, which don't offer anything like apprenticeships or any sort of employability.
To get starts into the centre, we have a start date every 4 weeks. So we have to get a minimum of 10 in if possible. So it's going out on outreach, walking the town centres, just networking with other people and, you know, working with your connections as such, telling our learners what we offer and how it can help their future. Everybody, we say, has got a carrot. So the carrot is they're over here they want to get qualifications, more confidence, you know, they need to learn the right skills to move into whichever area they want to move into. So the customers we get are 16 to 18, and they are currently NEET, which is not in education, employment or training. Most of the people that we get through the door are from the local area, so it benefits the local community, such as Friar Park, Wednesbury, West Bromwich and Hilltop Way as well. But we do get customers from all over the Black Country, but mainly it's serving well in Wednesbury for our local community.
My name's Kollie Cosser. I worked for Juniper since 2009. I'm a training officer, started on the entry to employment programme and then went on to foundation learning, and I've become a lead TO and just support the rest of the other training officers now with their work. I was made redundant when I was looking for a job, and Juniper had an open day. I went along, got selected and started as a training officer and enjoyed it from the word go, the interaction with the learners, all the work that's involved, the practicality of it, and that essence and that feeling of achievement, that you made a difference to somebody's life, or, you know, and sometimes you won't get it with every single one of them, but sometimes that thank you made a difference, or thanks for everything you did, I appreciate it, really is what keeps me going. Juniper's very welcoming and open. Like, they don't stipulate you have to have this, you have to have that. As long as you've got, I think you have to have that essence of, you know, you have to be a good self-motivator and have some core values, which, you know, they're all around the centre if you have a look. They will train you, they're prepared to support you, get your teaching qualifications and everything else done. As long as you've got the right attitude, you can manage it, and you've got the basics of what the company is looking for. They're very good at supporting you to progress, to become a fully qualified training officer with all the qualifications you need. A learner would get into Juniper via connections. There's a few routes: self-referral, or friends, relatives who are already on the programme, young learners, brothers, sisters, cousins can refer. A lot of marketing goes on with what respect we call outreach. Go out, we've been to Albury, West Brom, local areas, to, you know, say, hiya, are you 16 to 18, what are you doing at the moment? Because like I said earlier, the figures are there. We just need to tap into and find youth clubs and centres. James, my colleague, works quite closely with the external agencies and the events that are going on take place, make a point to get down there and like promote what Juniper does. We have a lot of learners, students who want to know, you know, what can I gain from it if I do this? Well, is there an incentive? The EMA payments they used to get, those have been cut, which for some were an incentive and some were a need. So then you get that battle between the two. Like, although even it's for them, it's for their development, they still want to know, what am I going to get out of it? And it's to discourage that culture of signing on and doing whatever. It's to change that, change the attitude, change the approach.